Georgia's vaccine supplies already limited, already running out. Supplies can't get here because of those winter storms that keep shutting down much of the rest of the country. 11 Alive's John Sherrick is at one of DeKalb County's mass vaccination sites where they're already seeing an impact because of the delays. John?
DeKalb County suddenly had to cancel thousands of COVID vaccine appointments scheduled for this week simply because the shipments could not make it through the winter storm to get here. And it's not just DeKalb, it's everywhere. Only a winter storm this bad can stop vaccines that can kill the coronavirus.
So no one has vaccine to spare.
DeKalb County's Health Director, Dr. Elizabeth Ford, suddenly had to cancel appointments for more than 3,000 people who were supposed to receive their second Moderna dose this week because the storm that has shut down much of the country shut down vaccine deliveries. She hopes to hear soon when the shipments will arrive.
I think that we still have an ability to catch up. We'll just make sure, our first goal is to ensure that everyone gets that second dose.
In Houston, Texas, the Harris County Health Department lost power in the storm, so more than 8,000 doses already received were at risk of spoiling. Instead of letting them go to waste, the county rushed to give them to people in hospitals, jails, and to college students.
I literally dropped everything, got everything on, and sprinted here.
I feel good that I'm going to be safer for everyone around me.
Manufacturers of the vaccines are withholding deliveries of any more to everyone until the storm subsides.
It has significantly impacted our vaccine shipments.
Dr. Chris Rustin with the Georgia Department of Public Health found out that Georgia may not receive any more vaccines until later in the week at the earliest.
Well, we hope to be back on track by the end of the week, at least having the vaccine shipped out to the providers. If these shipments aren't able to be shipped this week, it's definitely going to delay things for at least a week.
And again, people who were scheduled to get their second doses this week should be hearing from their providers soon about rescheduling. And again, remember, there is a window of 6 weeks for getting that second dose.
Yeah, hopefully they can get back on track, John. Thank you.